Yo, this is part two of when Luffy was overpowered, remastered, and yes, I remembered. I did this series before. It's just I forgot I did it before. So this is pretty much what if Luffy was overpowered, remastered. Okay, yeah. Plus, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. Mm. Luffy, let's just get straight into the story. Mm. We time skip where Ace is leaving. Luffy, right now, let's just wait. When does I have no idea. I have wait, hold on. Okay, I just switched it up. I'm not. Luffy is at the age of 14, and Ace is leaving the island. Luffy is crying his eyes out, and because this is what if Luffy was overpowered. Drum roll, please. This is way more, way list. North Luffy's base form, yes, his base form, Luffy's base form is his base form is Snake Man. Yeah, this look, this is what his base form looks like, and like the clouds, yeah, they're there as well. So yeah, and the hockey, that's like that's on 24/7. Naruto, Luffy doesn't get drained or anything. The hockey's on for 24/7. No cap. 24/7. The hockey's on for 24/7. Even the legs, the clouds, they're there for 24/7. And how did that happen? I mean, his space form went like that after he bait the crap out of the Celestial Dragon. And he destroyed his ship. The Celestial Dragon survived somehow. And he got booty clapped. And last last part, yeah, last part, he got booty clapped. Naruto, Luffy, his base form is Snake Man with the clouds, I think, and the hockey, just like I said before, it's on forever. It's pretty much on forever. Luffy waves at Ace, and Ace waves back. Luffy's bounty is 100 million. No, two, one, 200, 250 million. Yeah, 250 million. Because he bait the crap, he bait the crap out of a celestial dragon. He destroyed the ship, and he showed a mint, eerie element. I mean, eerie, like a lot of different powers. And yeah. And there's a lot of things that I'm gonna give not Luffy, but it's just, yeah. So, Luffy says his goodbyes to Ace because Ace is leaving. He says goodbye, and yeah, Ace leaves. And then we time skip another 3 years. Luffy is 17 and he leaves the island. Just Luffy, he gets on a boat and he waves goodbye to his caretaker. The girl, she's definitely not crying. And yeah, Luffy says, "I hate bandits." She says, "Shut up," but I love you guys. And she bawls her eyes out. She's crying, and crying even more. Then Luffy sits off. Luffy obviously getting lost. And he ends up in the whirlpool. Yeah. And then he ends up in a burrow, like in canon. And then I forgot what their pirate name is. What the hell? Bro, I just watched it like, I don't know, I, I watched it on Tuesday. What is it called again? I don't know. Yeah, like the pirates that Kobe's on, yeah. They come, I mean, they're coming to raid the party, like the pirate party ship thing, yeah. So yeah, they raid like usual, and like when the and Luffy still ends up inside like that one place, yeah. So yeah, Luffy is right now sleeping. This I'm not gonna say this a few times. Kobe goes into the place as usual in canon, and he sees the big burrow. He tries and push it around. He tries and push it, but he feels it's too heavy. And then no, he's still trying to push it. And then the Freeman comes. They say the same thing. Like, I mean, Kobe says that that I don't really care. A relevant fat lady character will kill us. They said if you won't tell, she won't kill us. So yeah, blah blah blah. Oh yeah. Plus Luffy learned swordsmanship. Boy, he mastered it. He mastered it. And full plot armor. He has the same katana from one on in Wano. Yeah, full plot armor. And he doesn't use two free sword style. No, he just uses a one sword style. And zero and no sword style. So yeah. Alright. The one guy tries and punch the barrel open. It did not. And then a hockey punch went to his jaw, sending him flying, going up. And Deku, not Luffy, did that on accident. And while he did that on accident, he said, "I slept well, but louder," with a very huge smile on his face. Oh yeah, plus he's as buff as he is in Wano. Yeah, he's as buff as he was in Wano. And yeah, just to clarify that. Luffy, after finishing their sentence, he he rubs his nose, the bottom of his nose, and says, "I'm hungry." Like he gets out of the barrel. I mean, he steps out of the barrel, and then like walks away. The two men one points their swords, and one gets their swords at and Luffy's neck, and one with him shivering in fear, but whatever. He's trying to act like a man. The other guy points a gun at him on the other side and says, "Who are you?" In fear. No, it just says, "Oh, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. Nice to meet you." And then he goes, and then one guy tries and swings his sword, trying to cut Luffy's head off. But Luffy says, "Room," and a huge blue Nah, not blue. Yeah, blue aura or surrounding them. It's like a circle. And you know what I'm doing? It's law. This law's devil fruit. He uses law's devil fruit. And he grabs out a pocket knife that he had for plot reasons. And then twist around, slicing both of them, only knocking them out. And then Naruto puts it back. Luffy puts it back. And remember, the haki on the 2 arms and 2 legs is like it's on forever. He can't turn it off. Oh yeah, plus he he mastered haki to the stage. He's learning advanced haki. So yeah, he's studying. He just needs someone to teach him it. He just needs someone to teach him the advanced haki mode. He he's already good at advanced haki. Advanced haki. No, not advanced haki. Observation haki, and he is a master with Conqueror's haki. Like the first time he did Conqueror's haki, mastered, mastered. But he needs to learn the advanced Conqueror's haki. Like, yeah. Luffy, he goes, and then he sees Kobe like usual, and he says, "Oh hi." Did Kobe's shivering in tears. Luffy says, and then Luffy's stomach growls. He says, "I'm hungry," and then Kobe sent like plot reasons. I don't know. Kobe sense him being good, so he's not scared of him in canon, just like in canon. But like a little bit terrified, to be honest. Not a little bit, a lot. Like usual, Kobe. Luffy says, if they go to the same spot, and Luffy eats the apples. Luffy, like, Kobe asks why he set out for sea. Luffy explains why, but he didn't explain he wants to be Pirate King. And then Luffy asks what's your dream. Kobe gets up and says he wants to be a Marine Admiral. Vice Admiral or Marine Admiral, I don't know. He says he swears in his life he will become a Marine Admiral and capture, I don't know, her relevant girl. I don't know that girl's big mom. The fat lady's name, no fat woman's name. The fat lady's name with the cobra. The coat. Kobe asks what's Luffy's dream. Luffy says, I want to become Pirate King. And then Kobe does the same crap he does in canon. No, you can't. It's impossible. It's a suicide mission. Blah, 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 blah. He talks to him. And yeah. Luffy punches him in the head as usual, but he didn't put too much force in it. But it still hurt. It still hurt Kobe's head. Kobe said, "Why did you do that for?" And pretty hard, pretty in a down thing tone. And Luffy says, "Because I felt like it." And Luffy says, "Why did you?" So tell me, well, how did you end up here? Kobe tells him how he ended up here. just like in canon, like he got in a fishing boat, which he thought he was going for fishing, but it ended up to be a pirate boat, which yeah, blah 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 blah. And Luffy said, you're freaking stupid, aren't you?" Luffy, Kobe does that anime cry and says, in canon, and yeah, and like, that big fat lady comes early because yeah. So the big fat lady comes going down and land, like breaks the ceiling where Luffy and Kobe is at. She breaks the ceiling and then lands on her feet. Luffy has Kobe and Luffy like they got away in time. They got like far enough in time. Luffy obviously got far enough in time. Kobe barely. Barely. He barely. And yeah, Luffy says, "What?" And that girl says, the girl said, that fat lady says, "Kobe." Kobe says, "Yeah, yes, Captain." Something, I don't know, relevant character, useless Sakura. Wait, this useless, I'm gonna call it uselessness. Uselessness says, not, she's uselessness number 2. Remember, Sakura is always that uselessness number 1. She says, the uselessness number 2 says, "Who is the most beautiful woman in these seas?" Kobe said, "It's obviously you, uselessness number 2. But instead of saying uselessness number 2, Kobe says her name, but I'm just calling her useless number 2. Luffy asks Kobe, who's that who's that fat ugly woman right there? And like that anime jaw drop, say like every single crew member just whistled and says bye bye, and then they just all walk away. Well, most of them, and then the uselessness number 2 gets like those angry things on her faces, and then goes for a crowbar swing. He hits Luffy, but Luffy just blocked it with his one hand, his left hand. Luffy he's yawning, and yeah, and then he says, "That's all you got." And Kobe has that uh, anime jaw drop even longer, 2 times longer. So yeah, she says, "So tell me, are you are you?" Luffy says, I'm the guy who's gonna become the pirate king." And the girl, that one laughs. She laughs and says, "Pirate king." And the girl says, "There's only one person to be the pirate king. Uselessness number 2." Luffy says, and then he goes for, he kicks. Should he? Why not? He goes for a gum pistol, and he hits the girl, the fat uselessness number 2, going even farther than cannon, and like landing on inside the water. Luffy stretches like Luffy uses mochi and like grabs like he uses mochi and like grabs Kobe, and they both hit up, landing in this in like the top of the ship. Luffy say, Luffy fights um Luffy fights all of the men like in usual, but 10 to 20 10 times faster. He takes care of them, but he leaves some of them because he needs to know. He he knocks out every single one, and he orders the ones that was on her ship to say to give her a boat, and they do so very fast because they're pissing their pants right now. And Luffy says, "Hey, Kobe." Kobe says, "Yeah, yes." And Luffy says, "Hey, come here." Kobe says, "Oh, okay." And Kobe comes with Luffy, and they go on the ship. And then Luffy says, "Do us down." And then those guys, the guys who are just still peeing their pants, do them. And then Luffy's boat lands. At the same time, a yellow, I think yellow or orange hair girl with a green green singlet with blue jeans and a 10 10 million berries, 1 million berries, 5 million berries next to her, 5,000 berries next to her. Yeah, does she? Yeah, 5,000 berries next to her, which she stole for no 100,000 no 100,000 berries next to her, and they land at the same time. Luffy up with looks at her, and she looks at Luffy at the same time. Luffy smiling, and then not, and then Luffy goes away. Luffy and Kobe. Luffy says, Luffy asks Kobe, "So Kobe, let me ask you something." Kobe says, "Yeah, yes." He asks about a good, anyone that's worthy to join his crew. Anyone like good. Kobe tells Luffy about Zoro, and Luffy says he's joining my crew, and Kobe says Kobe does say the same crap as usual, and Luffy punches Kobe in the head. Kobe asks, "Why did you do that?" And he says, "Because I felt like it." And then yeah, we go to where Luffy goes to the island where Zoro is. Luffy and Kobe gets off the boat, and then they start going to where Zoro is. They see a marine base, and then Luffy just jumps on top of the wall, and he sees Zoro. Kobe had to climb up, and yeah. Kobe says get down. Luffy says no. and then before Luffy can jump down, a little girl comes over and tries and gives Zoro rice bowls like in canon. Zoro declines it, and the same thing, the same bitch comes out. I'm sorry about my language, but it's just it's just it's just a bitch. The same bitch comes out. Yellow haired guy, don't give a crap. Big ass forehead, bigger than Sakura's forehead. And the guys, the bitch comes out, and he eats the little girl's rice bowl. He spits it out and says it's too salty, and and the bitch tells the Marines to throw her out of the bridge. I mean the wall. The Marine says yes. The Marine doesn't want to respond because he doesn't want to do that. And the bitch says, "You better do what I ask." So I tell my daddy, what she does say, because and he has the little girl to get in a boss says. She says, "Oh, what?" And then the Marine throws the girl out. Luffy throws a rock next to the girl, and Luffy teleports there. He grabs the girl, and then teleports back using his light powers. And Luffy, he gets pissed, and then Luffy says, "We need to investigate. It's about this situation. I'll get him later, but we need to investigate. What the fuck?" Well, they investigate. I'm so bad at pronouncing words. Investigate why Zoro is there, and they get to the shop where the little girl's thing at, little girl's mom's shop at, and she explains why Zoro's there, and Kobe is surprised that Zoro can be a good person. Yeah. Kobe asks, so... Oh, yeah. I kind of want to... Nah, never mind. I don't want to do that. My face... Kobe says, so... Kirby already left. Yeah. Luffy already left to where you could say Zoro is. He's in front of Zoro, and Zoro says, "Who are you, kid?" But when he looks up, he sees this guy, which is pretty much Luffy, but with the clouds, and he's Snake Man. That's his base form, remember? Snake Man. And he's just muscular, and just imagine everything like this, but except the cross, because he doesn't get that yet. I want him to get that from someone. Yeah, I want him to get that from someone. So Luffy asks Zoro to join his crew. Zoro obviously declines, and Luffy says, Zoro from with the free sword style. Zoro's shocked by this and says, how do you know my sword technique? Zoro says, Luffy says, can't you see? Are you blind? Are you blind? I'm a swordsman. And Zoro looks on Luffy's side and he sees the sword that was Luffy had in Wano. Luffy says, I'll be back. Zoro says, wait, what? So Luffy says, I'm gonna get your sword so you can join my crew. And Zoro says, but wait, before you go, can you pick up those bits of rice? Luffy says, okay. He picks them up and he asks, what, now what? Can you put them in my mouth? Luffy says, but Zoro says, just put him on my mouth already. Luffy says, okay. And he puts the little rice ball in his mouth. And he says, delicious. Luffy says, oh, you can be a nice person. And Luffy uses Dicky's shadow steps. And no, never mind. Luffy wanted to walk this time. Luffy wanted to walk this time. So he walked at the marine base. And he's looking for... He walks to the marine base and he sees a statue of a person getting pulled up. Luffy says, wonder what's happening there. And he like this disappears into all elements and reappears. Luffy has his hands in his pockets and says, wow. Oh yeah. And the man's son says that the guy, that's the guy, daddy, whatever, dad, that's the guy. He's the guy that punched me in the face, and it hurt very bad. And look, the guy has a bruise, like he has 10 bruises, no, 4 bruises on his face, and this flashback when Luffy punched the guy barged in with his dogs, and he's talked about how he's gonna execute Zoro in a month anyway, so it doesn't matter. So Luffy punched him on the face, and in a flashback, Luffy says, and then he sees the big guy. The big guy says, so you're the one who punched my son's face. Time to die. The guy goes for a punch, and without him finally seeing the haki on him, Luffy kicks the guy's hand away, making the guy hit his son on accident and knocking his son out. Luffy still has his hands in his pocket, and he gets in he does that thing that Sanji does, but instead his leg turns into all elements: dark, wind, earth, fire, lava, darkness, wind, I don't, and like more. He goes for a dragon kick, and like this is what happens. Luffy goes in a running stance, and he leaps. He went twisting around a few times, and he backflips, and then he had to summon a dragon, and then his spirit pressure made a dragon, which made him hurricane kick him going down. Then the guy went busting through the whole building, as well as breaking the statue and knocking him out. The Marines celebrate and they thank not Luffy, and Luffy says no problem. He asks them where's Zoro's sword, and then they tell him where Zoro's sword is. Luffy asks if they can get it, and they said yes, sir, anything for our hero. They get Zoro's swords and give it to Luffy. Luffy says take care, and then he disappears and reappears in front of Zoro. All of that only took 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And Luffy gives Zoro sword back, and Luffy finally takes his hands out of his pockets. I mean, he already had his hand out of pockets. He could not his sword back, but Luffy just unsheathes his sword and then re-sheathes it back, and then all the ropes are cut. And Luffy gets his sword and his swords, and then Zoro says, "Fine, but one condition before I join your crew. See who's the better swordsman." Luffy says, okay. And Zoro, he knows he's the guy strong, so he does his free sword style. He starts he does I don't know what it's called. The move that he started off when he fought Whitebeard. Yeah, I mean when he fought Mihawk. That's that move. His start off move. Luffy, he had a pocket knife, like the same pocket knife he used, and he blocks the move, just like Mihawk. And then the guy, Zoro says, no. Zoro's sweating a little bit because he said, no, this can't be. I can't be this far. And then Luffy's just 5 minutes pass, or 2 minutes pass, or Luffy just blocking his attacks casually, easily, actually. And then Zoro tries and tries and attacks him again with Luffy switching the sides of his pocket knife, and he blocks it. And that was just a distraction, so his other two swords can try and probably hit him. And Luffy, he pushes his one sword which he blocked. He ducks. He turns around, and he kicks Zoro on the on the head, and then makes him, and then and he flings him going down, and then Zoro gets knocked out. Zoro wakes up and he sees Luffy on top of him. Luffy says, "Join my crew now." And Zoro says, "Oh, fine." And Luffy and Zoro becomes his loyal swordsman. And Luffy says, "Don't worry, I'll train you." Zoro says, "Ah, thank you." And yeah. So Zoro joins his crew, and yeah. That's the end of this video. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Please join my Discord because I'm bored.